Hello, welcome to another installment of GURPS combat examples. I promise I will go back to normal videos soon. I am not switching completely to combat examples. In this one I would like to demonstrate a fight between a Goblin archer, who is not particularly skilled, but still, well, he actually is pretty good with his bow, but he's a Goblin, so he has a very low strength. And his bow does not deal a lot of damage, he only 1d-2 impaling. And a Cutpurse is a human with just some thievery skills, but no combat skills at all. He does have a dagger, but he has to use it from a default. He is probably better off using his punches, kicks, and even bites, because he has decent dexterity. He is not a combatant at all. He is supposed to be a cowardly thief who cuts off your purse and runs away with it. And the Goblin Archer is supposed to be, I guess, a raider. What is different between D&D and GURPS is that in D&D you could make goblins dangerous even at higher level if you give them many class levels, for example. And it's not possible in GURPS. Well, it is possible to make them dangerous, but within the realistic expectations. So the Goblin, being an SM-2 creature, has a racial strength of only 5. That's very low. This one is stronger than normal. Keep that in mind. And even with his higher than normal strength, he still does not do a lot of damage. So we'll see, will he be able to hold his ground against a human who is much stronger, bigger, but much less skilled. And the human has no armor, because, well, armor is difficult to overcome when you have this low damage. Unless you use targeted attacks, all that. But we're not doing that today. So this example is here to show off the differences between D&D small characters and GURPS small characters, at least when it comes to ranged combat. Remember, goblins are not supposed to be fighting alone. This should have been, well, a bigger fight. So let's set up an encounter. To do that, you select both of the tokens, click this button. Now we can roll initiative. The Goblin goes first. Let's roll their starting locations. That will be 1d for the Cutpurse and 1d for the Goblin Archer. 5, 3. You go to 5. You go to 3. That's pretty good, because he has some difficult terrain between his target. So the Goblin goes first and aims, because why not? Has an arrow ready and a bow ready, cannot aim. The Cutpurse decides that his best move would be to close the distance. He has move 5, 3, 4, 5. The Goblin steps back, to the side I guess, and aims again. Let's say that he is aiming at the face. The Cutpurse, this is difficult terrain, so it costs 2 movement points, and also imposes defense penalties, so he can only move 2 hexes. A Goblin then 3 yards, 4 yards would increase the range penalties. He stands, attacks, then steps back. Let's roll the attack. This modifier, hold down the control button, control key, -1 for range. Okay, then let's check the accuracy. You can click the accuracy, +2, and plus additional 1 for aiming 2 turns. Then when ranged combat, you use not relative size modifier, but the absolute size modifier. It does not get a +2 bonus. At least that's how I remember it. Hit location to the face. That's a total -3. That's still... And he just makes it. The Cutpurse. He cannot retreat from a ranged attack. You can retreat from ranged attacks if it's an area effect, for example, from a grenade or something. Your only option is to either dodge normally or dive for cover, or just dodge and drop, which is essentially similar to retreating. So let's say that he decides to dodge and drop. Gives a +3 to dodge. He gets a -1 from being in the sand. He rolls and makes it, but he becomes prone. The Goblin. On his turn, he rolls fast draw arrow. He draws an arrow as... Oh, he was supposed to step back. As a free action. Then he readies his bow. He knocks the arrow. Then the Cutpurse, he goes from lying down to kneeling. The archer decides not to aim, but to step in and shoot. Not even shoot normally, but shoot as an all-out attack, determined. -1 +1 for all-out determined attack. And wait a second. Does his posture impose a penalty? I don't think it does. Sitting, crawling. Oh no, it actually does. -2. So he just shoots in the torso and misses. He has 10 arrows left. The Cutpurse stands up as a step. Posture. Steps forward. Alright. The archer then moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has moved 4. But before moving, or after moving, no, before moving, he rolls first draw arrow. So he draws an arrow reaction, then moves. The Cutpurse moves 2 yards towards him. So archer moves back 1 step and readies his bow. The Cutpurse, that's 2 movement points, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he can actually do a move and attack. You hold down the shift key to prevent the tokens from snapping to grid. He moves into close combat and decides to do it as a move and attack to grapple. He does not have any skills, so he grapples with his dexterity. This employs a -4 and caps still at 9. And also he gets a +2 bonus for size, because when you're grappling, you get a bonus if you're bigger. So let's roll. He makes it, but the Goblin decides to dodge and retreat. Retreat gives you a +3 to dodge. Roll it. He makes it. Good. So, what can the Goblin do? He has short feet, so he cannot outrun the Cutpurse here. I think he would just shoot the Cutpurse in the face to hope for a stun. That would be reasonable here. So the Goblin, there's no range penalty. He just to the face. He needs a lucky roll. He misses it. Oh, bad roll. So the Cutpurse then. Oh, and he, I guess, steps back. Cutpurse. He has to do a committed attack that permits double step. Steps into close combat and has to grab +2 for size, not +2 for committed attack. And he fails. The Goblin. Does he do? Okay. The fence is 2 yards tall. So can he grab it? It's only 1 yard tall? I don't think so. Ted, what would you do? I guess punch him in the groin. Why not? He gets a bonus, a big bonus from being shorter. So the Goblin. That's not a good chance. Okay. What would he do? I think it would be reasonable to drop the bow, draw the knife with a fast draw, and slash him telegraphically in the groin. Again, hoping for a good stun. Okay, that's +4 for +2 for size, -3 for groin. Where is it? There's no need for a telegraphic attack. Let's remove it. He will stab. Miss it by 1. If you miss the groin by 1, I think you hit the torso instead. I will not look it up, because it's going to be slow, but wait, I think you can. It is shown here, see? In hit location, if there is. No, you don't hit the torso. So he just missed. He really should have Use the telegraphic attack then. The Cutpurse. What does he do? He opts for another grab. Maybe, yes, why not? Let's grapple the neck. When you grapple, you do not apply full location penalties, but halved. So -5 halved will be -3. That's and +2 for size. Oh, that was a very bad roll. So the Goblin. Let's slash at the groin again. Ah, he was supposed to hit. Due to low posture. Okay, but I forgot that. But it's too late to roll back. So hit location -3. Where is? Let's hit the vitals instead. Then size +2. He does not get a +1 bonus to hit the vitals. Okay, and trust. He makes it. Does the Cutpurse dodge? He will not retreat because he wants to stay in close combat. It's his advantage. Otherwise, the Goblin will step back after attacking and make some distance. Just he doesn't dodge. Okay, the Goblin rolls 1d minus 1d minus 3 impaling. That's 1 point of damage, and since this is a vitals hit, it translates into 3 points of injury. And must roll against health. He does not get stunned. Any damage that imposes shock. The vitals probes stun check. Now the Cutpurse, he is at -3 for shock, so he does a telegraphic grapple. +2 for size, +4 for telegraphic, and he still wants to grapple the neck. Okay, actually -3. And he makes it, but the Goblin can parry. He retreats and parries. That's a +1 for retreating, because a knife is not a fencing weapon. He fails to parry, so he does not retreat, and he is grappled by the neck now. Okay, on his turn, he can still use his arms, so he's going to stab. He is at -4 to dexterity, but only for using the neck hit location, but does not apply to his attack rolls. Now, yes, I don't think it does. So he decides to attack the vitals again. That's +2 for size, -3 for vitals. And he also does an this as an all-out attack strong. Well, no, that would be suicidal here. Yes, here's a hint for you. Do not use all-out attacks when you are grappled, because otherwise you'll just get pinned, and that sucks. So just simply stabs him. And He hits. The Cutpurse dodges, he cannot retreat because he is grappling. Did they account for shock? Yes, he did not account for shock, but he still made it enough. The initial grapple attempt. Active defenses are not penalized for shock. He fails to dodge. The Goblin damage, and that's only 1 point of damage. 3 point injury. Another stun check. He makes it. So now let's perform a neck snap. The Cutpurse is not trained in neck snap. That's an unreasonable decision. What will the Cutpurse do? I guess he'll just what will he do? Just do a takedown. So he rolls a quick contest of strength. He fails by 1. Goblin fails by 1. Oh, so that's actually a tie. Impressive. Goblin taps at the vitals again. So that's a total of -1. I remember it. Makes it. Cutpurse defense critically fails. Alright, that's something unexpected. Alright. If you fail a dodge critically, you lose your footing and fall. And I guess he releases a grapple, because it would make sense otherwise. He is prone now. The Goblin. Okay. The Goblin, what will he do? He will go for a telegraphic eye stab. Going to do it as a telegraphic all-out attack. +2. And where is the eye hit location? 9. I think I accounted for everything. He stabs at the eyes. Makes it. The Cutpurse, you can retreat when you are lying down. You just roll away. So he is going to retreat. That's +3. So you are at -3 to defense down. So he just rolls a normal dodge. And he fails. The Cutpurse rolls damage. Again, only 1 point of damage. But it hits the eyes. So it translates into 4 injury. Also aligns the eye and triggers another stun check. And he... wait. Give me a second. So he is stunned, just normally. This was not a major wound, so it does not impose a -10 penalty stun roll. But still, being stunned is not nice. See, there's icon somewhere. Stunned. So on his own turn, he rolls against health to recover. He fails, he's still stunned, he cannot do anything. The Goblin Archer, again, does a telegraphic all-out determined stab at the eyes. guess at the other eye. Makes it. The Cutpurse still can defend, even though he is stunned. He gets a -3 for being on the ground, -4 for being stunned. Maybe he'll roll a critical hit. I mean, critical success roll, his defense. And yes, as was pointed out in the comments, you can roll your defense rolls even if you have to roll against a score of 3 or lower. He fails, so he gets stunned. Let's roll damage. That's 3. So damage. That's 12 injury. Now he has to roll at -10. So he had to roll against 0 to stay conscious. He is unconscious and well, he's done. Well, I expected to have some more archery here, but it didn't happen. But on the other hand, you saw some nice grappling and face stabbing. So thank you for watching, I'll see you next time.